Okay, Mr. Stretcher, we are excited to share with our community and with the students here at the school a little bit about each one of our board members for School Board Appreciation Month. So if you could tell me, how long have you been serving on the board here?
I've been on the board almost 2 years. I joined in January of 20, right before the pandemic.
So to get to know a little bit about yourself, are you retired? Are you still working?
Well, I moved to Southeast Texas in 1996 to be Vice President for Academic Affairs at Lamar State College, Port Arthur, and I stayed at Lamar until 2019 and retired. But part of my job was getting to know the school districts, high schools in the area, so that we could set up dual credit programs for them where students could get high school credit and college credit for the same courses. And so I got to know Dr. Lopez through that, and he shared a lot of information with me over the years about how well the Bob Hope students do with their standardized test scores and their college bound percentages and things like that. And I was always just very impressed with Bob Hope. So he offered me a chance to be on the board, and I took it.
So what's your background? Where are you from?
Well, I was raised, and let's just say in north central Texas, and about 50 miles west of Fort Worth. And I have a bachelor's, master's, and doctorate from East Texas State University in Commerce. And I worked at a variety of, 4 other 2-year schools before I came down here in '96. I'm married and I have 2 adult children.
So you might be, are you the only board member that has a background really in education?
I guess so. I hadn't really thought about it, but yeah, I guess that's right.
I love that our board is full of members of the community from all different walks of life and all different backgrounds, but it must be particularly rewarding, I would think, for you to be able to use your background in education and the partnership with Lamar State College, Port Arthur when you're thinking about what's best for the students.
Well, yes, but I have to be careful too, because I'm a board member and not an administrator, so I have to let Dr. Lopez and his team carry the ball there. But it does provide me with some insight. But we have some very good business people, and they're really good at watching the dollars. And so I think, like you say, it's a good mixture of board members.
So what have you learned from being a board member in the past 2 years? This is the first type of, serving on a board that you've done?
Well, no, I was on the board of trustees at Port Neches Groves for a few years. And so I know what a board member does and the restrictions they have. But I guess it's reinforced some things that I maybe already knew or suspected, and that is it's possible to provide a top-notch education and not have to do it in $50 million palaces, which we seem to have some in this area. And Bob Hope makes do with the resources and facilities that it has, and generally does along with one other district in the region, they provide, their students do the best, like I say, on the test scores and placement and things like that. So that's reinforced what I already knew or suspected. But I'm really impressed with how they stretch their resources to make students successful.
How has serving on the board been rewarding for you in your retirement?
Well, it gives me a place to go on Tuesday nights, but no, I wanted to do something like this. And when I was working, I was on a school board and I was on the board, but I didn't have time to spend with it. And like I say, I don't try to interfere here and get too involved, but I do have some time now to look through documents before the meetings and review the documents after the meetings and kind of get a better idea of what's going on. But I like it. It gives me a sense of purpose.
And the board here, all the board members get along very well. They all take a lot of consideration into the decisions that are made here. And I think really the reason is because you all are doing it for the kids. Would you agree?
Oh, well, definitely we're doing it for the kids. And the way the board is selected is different, say, than public schools where they're elected. And they're elected because maybe they have an agenda or a grudge or want to get back at someone. And so this is not that kind of a board. They just want to, like you say, serve and do well for the children.
Is there any message that you have for the students as we introduce them to our board members and let them learn a little bit about you?
Well, I'd say that the kids, the students and their parents made the right decision when they decided to come to Bob Hope. Now, it's growing in such a way. What do we have now? It's at 2,500 students, something like that, that we can offer just about anything to the students that they could get in any of the other schools around here. But what they have here at Bob Hope, there's discipline and there's concern about the children. And that way, if they're not doing well in school, then they have to participate in tutorials after school. But that's just a condition of going to school here. There are no real discipline problems here. And I just hope the students realize that this is a great opportunity for them. They're getting a private school education for free, is what's happening.
Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.